Hey there! Today we're going to talk about this pen, the Chelpark Empiria. This was sent to me from India. I'm going to cover the parts, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. So let's start with the top of the pen, a little yellow thing, and then a black clip and a black clip ring. The clip says Chelpark on it. It's an Indian brand. It's all plastic. It says Chelpark Empiria on the barrel. Then it has another plastic thing, black plastic thing at the end, and then a little yellow thing that sticks out a bit, which doesn't really seem to have a function. The clip is plastic, so you can in fact snap it off or be a little careful. It does have a nice bit of spring to it. Unscrew the cap and you'll see a sort of hooded, maybe semi-hooded nib, which is gold colored. I'm sure it's not actual gold. These pens are not particularly expensive. The feed, I was just smelling it, the feed seems to be ebonite, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, I was unable to remove the nib of the feed, but maybe if I would try harder, then I could in fact do that. There's the threads here. There's not a huge step down, and the section has a quite interesting shape, as you can see here. When you hold the pen, it's a bit thicker than you may expect it to be for a plastic pen, and I think it's a decent size, even unposted. And if you do post it, then you know it's a very nice size. Okay, unscrew the barrel, and you will find this interesting converter, which you screw. I have to be careful, there is ink in here. It's quite tight, but you can see the piston moving in there, I think. The converter is connected to the pen, so you cannot take out the converter. It's in there permanently. And that all seems to work well. So those are it's a simple pen. There isn't a whole lot more to tell about the pen. What about it? Well, it's actually a fairly decent pen. You will get some feedback when you're writing. I wouldn't go so far as to call the nib scratchy. I'm not sure whether it's really scratchy. I think it's really just a bit of feedback. And I'm sure that if I put a bit of micro mesh to the nib, then it will get smoother. It's very light, so if you like heavier pens, I mean, it's all plastic. The only metal part is the nib. So if you like heavier pens, then I don't think this is the one for you. Clearly the design, this will not appeal to everyone, but you know, it's an inexpensive fountain pen. This is what you get. So an interesting pen. If you're looking in if you're in the market for a cheaper pen you can take with you wherever you go or something, these Indian pens can be an interesting alternative, or interesting option, I should say. So check it out, the Chelpark Empiria. I think the best thing we can do now is the writing sample. I hope that's going to be useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. The Chelpark Empiria. I truly believe this ink is quink blue. The nib is fine. The quick brown fox. Jumps over the lazy dog. I seem to get some feedback on the downstrokes. There's some on the horizontal strokes too. But I guess this nib could definitely be made a little smoother. It's not a bad nib. It's not extremely scratchy or anything. No, I don't get snagged on the paper, which is my internal test for true scratchiness. I think it's just feedback, but it is a very fine nib, so it's not that bad at all, really. Okay, let's have a look at some fast writing. Feed keeps up very well, no real issues. I can fling out some ink. When I filled up the pen for the first time when I was writing, ink drops just fell out. And I thought it was leaky, but it doesn't seem to be an issue now. It's probably just from the filling. I guess that because there are little ridges, the nib is semi-hooded, some ink gets trapped below this bit and then it just falls out at some point. But that's not the worst. It doesn't do it now. What about wetness? Well, for such a fine nib, I think it's remarkably wet. I mean, this patch is quite even. Very dry pens usually have a lot more white in there. As you can see, it is in fact quite wet. That's not bad at all. Finally, line variation. There is some. You have to squeeze down on the pen with quite some force, but you can squeeze out some line variation. So, that's it. The Chelpark Imperia. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.